بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين 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 سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين صلوا على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا مسلمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين خاتم الأنبياء سيدنا ومولانا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وبعد. Brother Chairman, sir, distinguished brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah ala salama wa marhaba bikum. It gives me much joy and relief that you have responded positively to our invitation, calling you to an important, urgent duty in Allah's cause. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your gesture as ibadah, and may He Almighty continue to strengthen your resolve and participation in the huge task of Islamization of knowledge. The topic of this seminar cannot be strange to most of us. Some of us here present are already involved in efforts on the topic, while others might have felt the need for it. I'm sure quite a few of us will recall the visit of Professor Omar Hassan Kasuli of the IIT, the International Institute of Islamic Thought, 2 Ramadans ago. Wherever he went during that trip, he tried to bring to the notice of his audience, who were mostly academicians, the need for urgent action on proper Islamic handling of knowledge, the imparting of which most of us here claim as our profession. He was keen that the Muslim academia in southwestern Nigeria, with which he was highly impressed, should be brought on board in the ongoing efforts worldwide on the Islamization of knowledge. It was as a result of that trip that the IIT decided to sponsor a program on the Islamization of knowledge in the southwest of Nigeria. The IIT has offices and affiliates in 25 countries spread over 4 continents. It was set up with the initial objective of reforming Muslim thought as a first necessary step in moving the Ummah from its current, quote, lowest rung of the ladder, quote, rating to the rightful Quranic position of, quote, you are the best nation created for mankind, unquote. IIT scholars have convincingly identified the prevalent education systems in Muslim lands as the, quote, self-perpetuating core of the malaise befalling the Ummah, unquote. The Institute has initiated many efforts in redressing the dismal state of affairs in the Ummah. Several international conferences have been organized to address the issue, and it has established a vibrant, highly intellectual journal, the American Journal of Islamic Social Sciences, which presents a global platform for those who are ready to contribute to the efforts aimed at the Islamization of knowledge, to articulate their thoughts and findings. A few of us here are also aware of the Triple IT's efforts in the northern part of Nigeria, on which Dr. Rafi Adebayo, inshallah, will elaborate later when he shares with us the experiences in the north, inshallah. This seminar can therefore be construed as the beginning of serious efforts to bring the southwest of Nigeria on board the Islamization of knowledge boat. Islam, as we all know, covers every nook and cranny of human existence and sphere of activities, while knowledge is limitless. So when the two words are brought to play together, as in the phrase Islamization of knowledge, the vastness of what can be encompassed is in the realm of infinity. Can you imagine the vast areas of research that this topic throws up? The opportunities for writing new books and rewriting old ones in virtually all disciplines, the size of the readership to which the books are to be directed, like teachers, parents, government officials, apart from students themselves. Just as everything else, or just as in everything else, the Muslim starting point is the Quran and the Sunnah in concordance with Allah's directive. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tuqaddimu bayna yaday Allahi wa rasulih. Who you believe, do not put yourself before Allah and His Messenger. The very first word of the Quran, Iqra, sets the tone and defines what is expected of man. That is, to acquire knowledge. And to do so, Bismi Rabbika, in the name of your Lord, who teaches man what he knows. Such words of the Quran, like we have no knowledge except what you teach us. أليس الله بأحكام الحاكمين? Is Allah not the wisest of the learned? ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء. And they do not comprehend all of His knowledge except by His will. وما أوتيتم من العلم إلا قليلا. We have given you of knowledge very little. All good to establish in the believer's mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the origin of all knowledge, and He subhanahu wa ta'ala bequeaths it as He in His mercifulness deems fit. Hence, to exclude revelation from the sources of knowledge will constitute kufr. For the believer, revelation is the first port of call on any topic. Rasul also provided us with guidance in the matter of knowledge. He reportedly said, "What the world and all it contains are accursed except the remembrance of Allah and all that aids to it." The implication of this hadith in the context of knowledge is that whatever activity the believer is engaged in vis-a-vis knowledge must involve remembrance of Allah if it is not to be accursed. In another hadith, Rasulullah was reported as seeking refuge of Allah from ilmul la yanfa, knowledge that does not profit. This hadith implicitly categorizes knowledge into profitable and non-profitable components. It also poses a challenge for us to sieve the grain from the chaff. The exercise of Islamization must of necessity involve a thorough review of all currently available educational material. Just as other ideologies always ensure that all the systems and institutions they operate reflect fully their ideological standpoints and world viewpoints, the effort at Islamization was vividly convey Islamic criteria, values, ideals, systems, etc. in the end product. They must motivate their target subject towards Islamic aspirations and the highest level of excellence compatible with the Quranic declaration, "You are the best nation created for man." If we roll back clock hands, we should find inspiration from what happened during the reign of the Abbasid caliphs, who were based in Baghdad, starting from Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, culminating in the glorious years of Harun al-Rashid, who ruled in Baghdad from 215 Anno Hijra to 238, and Al-Mamun, who reigned from 242 to 262. The Muslims led their world during their reign, and their success was particularly due to their personal patronage of learning and the spreading of knowledge. These caliphs spearheaded the efforts to acquire all available knowledge. There was no stone unturned, as all available Greek, Syrian, Persian, Indian manuscripts were acquired with voracity. The first efforts were necessarily directed at translating the text into Arabic, thereby popularizing them. Available works on virtually all subjects, from astronomy, mathematics, physics, medicine, geography, chemistry, to natural history, were thereafter edited. They did not hesitate to approach any authority, irrespective of their faith or creed, in acquiring manuscripts. Caliph al-Mamun is reported to have written to the king of Sicily, asking for the entire contents of the library of Sicily. The king obliged him with copies of the books in the library. Similar approaches were made to the then Byzantine emperor, whose response was also positive. They also ignored religious differences in engaging competent hands like Thabit bin Qurra, a Sabian, and Hunayn bin Ishaq al-Ibadi, a Christian, as translators. It is also reported that Al-Mamun once used 100 camels to transport handwritten books and manuscripts from Khorasan in Iran to Baghdad. Various institutions of learning were established, the most prominent of which was probably the Baitul Hikmah, built by Harun al-Rashid, but later expanded by Caliph al-Mamun and renamed Darul Hikmah, House of Wisdom. The most prominent scholars of the time, including the like of Al-Kindi, Al-Khwarazmi, Thabit bin Qurra, the Banu Musa brothers, Ahmad and Al-Hassan, were engaged by Caliph al-Mamun at the Darul Hikmah to join hands in translation of masterpieces from all over the world, as well as hold discourses and discussions on advancing the frontiers of knowledge. Even the Caliph used to join in their discussions. Knowledge was popularized all over Muslim land. Schools and universities began to spring up from Andalusia to Baghdad to Central Asia, where cities like Konya, Samarkand, and Bukhara became centers of learning and letters. After translating and digesting these earlier works, the Muslim scholars of the Golden Era began to advance the frontiers of knowledge in the various fields, and the world was to benefit tremendously from their creativity. For example, He pioneered and developed trigonometry, which revolutionized mathematical science by immensely simplifying mathematical calculations involved in astronomy. How well we can do with the Darul Hikmah in the present time, where the best Muslim brains in the world will be assembled and commissioned to produce various curricula and textbooks for particular disciplines. But then, where is the ruler today? Who is the patron of knowledge and learning? Who can compare with Khalif Harun al-Rashid or his successor Al-Mahmud? Maybe we are not trying hard enough to make our rulers aware of the needs of our time. But there's no doubting that the process of Islamization of knowledge requires coordinated contributions on the best brains in the Muslim world today for it to succeed. Therefore, distinguished brothers and sisters, each one of us has to create his or our own little Darul Hikmah to contribute his little drop of water, which together, inshallah, will aggregate into a mighty ocean. The efforts have to be concerted and coordinated to avoid any wasteful duplication. By the time we leave here, each and every one of us should have a sense of mission to play a positive role in the joint effort at Islamization of knowledge. Together, we should be able to construct a work plan and set out a program of sustained efforts so that our gathering here does not reduce to a talk show. I must take this opportunity to thank you all for answering our invitation. May Allah reward you handsomely and increase you and us in wisdom and dedication to His cause. I must also express, on behalf of all of us, our appreciation to the IIIT for sponsoring this seminar. May Allah grant the Institute and all involved in its activities success in all their endeavors. We must not forget to thank the Dean and the staff of the Faculty of Education, University of Lagos, for hosting this seminar. May Allah continue to strengthen your dedication to His cause. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم سعيد أستغفره إنه هو غفور رحيم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.